Today on the Morning Edition, an outpouring of community support turned a local venue into a hotspot for good times and good music over the weekend. The benefit concert for the victims of the former Typhoon Halong happened Saturday. We'll bring you the sights and sounds. Plus, a first of its kind in Anchorage, a tiny housing village, is set to open soon for those experiencing homelessness. We have the details. And later, these police officers pulled over a bunch of cars, but they weren't handing out tickets, just turkeys. We'll take a look at how this police department is putting community first as the Morning Edition starts now. Can you imagine being pulled over and instead of getting a ticket, you get a turkey?
I mean, it's that time of the year. Turkeys, Thanksgiving, what is it? A week and a half away?
A week and a half away.
And we're talking about some warm weather this morning. Last week, we saw those temperatures in the teens and the 20s for South Central this week. Well, we're going to be talking about those temperatures easily climbing near or above freezing. We did see some fresh snow accumulation through the night, and that still continues this morning across South Central. So just take it easy on those roadways. Temperatures this morning already beginning to warm back into the lower 20s. So we're not talking about that big chill that we did see last week across the state. Of course, with that said, we're still seeing some areas across Alaska which continue to hold on to some cold weather, but warmer conditions continue to spread across the state. 33 in Portage, 38 degrees in Cordova. As you head out towards coastal areas, you can see those temperatures already making a run near freezing, while inland locations, we're still holding on to some pockets of some cold conditions, but temperatures are warming. The cold spot this morning, Golcana at 5 degrees. And we have been holding on to some light snow through the night. That continues as you head out towards parts of Turnagain Arm, as you head out towards Prince William Sound, through parts of the Susitna Valley. This is where we're continuing to hold on to some of that snow accumulation for the first part of your morning. So as you get out on those roadways for your Monday, be prepared for some of that snow. Of course, you can see most of that activity in Anchorage has come to an end. As you head just north of about Chugiak, as you head out towards the valley, this is where we're continuing to hold on to some of that light snow showers as you get out on those roadways this morning. So just take it easy. We are seeing a winter weather advisory out towards East Turnagain Arm until 9 a.m. This is for mixed precip, where we could see not only some rain mixing in with that snow, but an additional 3 inches will be possible. And of course, those temperatures will steadily warm throughout the day as we make a run into the upper 20s and the lower 30s. We're not expecting to see any significant snow throughout the day, but we will favor some of that ongoing snowy weather for the rest of your Monday. Out west is where we're continuing to see some of the greatest impacts with winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories, and a coastal flood advisory through the Kuskokwim Delta coast. I'll have more on that in that 7-day forecast coming up.
Our top story this morning on Saturday, Willowa Social became a hotspot with the benefit concert taking place, raising funds for those impacted by former Typhoon Halong. Justin Matson was there and saw the community come together and shares it with us.
The dance floor at Willowa was filled with good times to support those going through hard times.
People wanted to do this, and they came together, and so many people volunteered their time.
Over time, the concert grew larger and larger.
They added tickets, and people are buying tickets at the door, and people are just flowing in and out, and that was kind of the point.
For Willowa Social, the turnout was phenomenal, but not unexpected.
Seeing people from 5 to 95 come out here and with the same singular goal, families coming together to help other families. It's been so incredible.
The event, billed as family-friendly, had its fair share of families, with a kids section with clowns and painting.
One woman brought in a small baby, and she had a group of friends to all pitch in to, help take care of the baby.
Caring for each other was the message heard at the concert.
To see it all develop and see the support they give each other and the support they're willing to give. The people in the villagers, most of us don't know them. We've never met them, but they're our brothers and sisters, and we're here to help them.
With organizers' belief that music is the connector, being the match that lit the fuse.
The music is what brings us together, and it gives us that voice that we can sing. You see it when you see the people in the audience singing along to the songs because they feel them, It's bringing us together. It's creating that community spirit that we need right now.
I'm getting a little old for the bar scene, but I do like going out and seeing live music.
Justin Mattson, Alaska's news source.
We reached out to the organizer to see how much they raised. She says at this time they don't have a final tally, but she expects the results to surpass their goal. And the city of Anchorage is getting ready to open its first group of tiny houses for people experiencing homelessness. Lauren Maxwell has an update on how the project is coming along.
You can see them at a construction site near Ship Creek, a row of tiny houses that sometime this winter
elevated bed, storage underneath,
will become someone's home.
We bought 1,500 watt heaters to put them in just to test it, and these things stay incredibly warm.
In the next few weeks, 32 12 by 8 foot tiny homes known as micro units will be transported from here to here, a city-owned piece of land near Elmore and Tudor, where people experiencing homelessness can live while recovering from addiction. The city wants residents to move in
As soon as possible, our hope is within December, January, somewhere in there.
The city believes micro units could be a fast and effective way to house more people experiencing homelessness.
I think this is an option for any organization that has some spare space and some access to volunteers and maybe access to some indoor facilities. I mean, this is an option to consider.
So you guys are more than welcome to step inside.
Today's tour included church leaders and other organizations who have an interest in the project. And some said they might even have room.
I think it's a way to make it work. I'm really intrigued with being able to see how well they're built, and I like the fact that they are movable. They're transitional, so that's a selling point for us.
The city says they hope the idea of tiny houses will spread throughout Anchorage to bring more people in from the cold. Lauren Maxwell, Alaska's news source.
The city used about $1.2 million in money from an opioid settlement to pay for the construction of the tiny home village. And last week, the Fairbanks North Star Borough held a mock assembly meeting to wrap up its first Citizen Engagement Academy. The goal? To create a more active and informed community. Alex Bangle spoke with teachers and students about what they learned from the experience.
We've had fun, and I think we've all learned something.
More than 20 community members gathered at Assembly Chambers Wednesday, putting themselves in the shoes of those who represent them at the borough.
I've always been one of those that if you don't participate, whether it's voting or something like this, you can't complain.
Over the last 8 weeks, Academy participants met every Wednesday evening to learn how local government works.
People really want to be engaged, but they don't necessarily know how, and they need help and support with that.
Team lead Amy Galloway calls the project a wild success, saying the borough plans to offer it every year and maybe start a youth academy too.
We need more people to run for office, but we also need people on our boards and commissions. And from this academy, we have gotten 3 or 4 people signed up on our boards and commissions.
10 people had to be put on a wait list for this year's class, and current students say they learned a lot.
I was very impressed with the transportation department. If you've never had a chance to tour the new transportation building, very impressive.
Finally, on Thursday, participants graduated with a certificate of completion given at an assembly meeting. Citizens more empowered to make their voices heard. Alex Bengal, Alaska's news source.
5 people were arrested in Fairbanks Friday after officers investigated what the Fairbanks Police Department is calling an illegal gambling operation. FPD says officers found numerous, quote, casino-style fish table machines and fire current gambling games at 2 businesses. They seized more than $55,000 in equipment, $45,000 in cash, along with other things. We have more details on our website. Human remains were found after a fire in a trailer in the Fairbanks area around 10 a.m. on Saturday. That's according to Alaska State Troopers. Troopers say the residential fire off McGrath Road was still active when firefighters arrived, and later human remains were found in the living room. Troopers say 2 deputy fire marshals think the fire started in that room next to the wood stove. No foul play is suspected. Demolition of the historic Juneau neighborhood known as Telephone Hill has ran into resistance from residents. The city of Juneau is seeking to develop the area into more dense housing units. Justin Mattson takes us back to the beginning when this all began.
We have now reached the point where we are at the eviction date.
CBJ Assemblymember Alicia Hughes-Ganges says evicted residents are required to leave Telephone Hill this month.
That has been complicated by 3 of the residents have filed a lawsuit.
The lawsuit claims the city and borough of Juneau issued these evictions improperly. Susan Clark is one of the residents advocating to keep the historic neighborhood.
People haven't been moved out illegally, but they certainly have been moved out without consideration of who is there and how long they've been there and how much it takes to take a house you've lived in for 40 years and find a new one and move out. The city has done everything backwards. If you say ready, aim, fire, they're firing first.
Attorneys for Juneau say the lawsuit has no merit, but other efforts are underway to halt evictions. Residents are circulating a petition to preserve the hill as is.
There's over 900 signatures at this point.
Assembly members say they hear the community's concerns, but that demolition has to move forward for the greater good.
We have so much empathy for that, but we also recognize the broader community benefit of developing this property. In Juneau, we have the highest single-family home price in the state, with about 30% higher than the national average.
With some residents refusing to leave Telephone Hill while the lawsuit moves forward, city plans for demolition are currently on hold. Justin Mattson, Alaska's news source.
We have a weekly segment called Nights of Lights, bringing you a different holiday decorative display each week. We'll show you the most recent one just after this.
Light snow continues across South Central. We've also got some active and stormy weather out west. I'll have more on that. First, sunrise, 9:12 in Anchorage, 7:51 in Juneau. Your full forecast is next. Well, this moose in Anchorage started itself by shedding its own antlers. Someone recorded while the animal was browsing around. Now, if you didn't know, moose do shed their antlers each year naturally. Hormonal changes can cause tissue to weaken, and they can be knocked off just like you saw, which is good news for moose during the wintertime, as that helps them lose about 60 pounds from that antler weight, which helps them conserve more energy in their body. And of course, we are seeing some of those cold conditions that have been with us across the state. We are seeing warmer weather taking hold this week, though. This is putting a backseat to that big chill we saw last week. 10 degrees in Fairbanks, 6 below in Deadhorse, 15 degrees in Nome, 22 degrees in Anchorage. You can see active weather is what we're watching for areas out west. Now, while heavy snow is not looking possible for the first part of the morning, we will begin to see some increasing snowfall potential through parts of the Seward Peninsula, where we are expecting to see up to a foot of snow accumulation. We've even got this area of low pressure here across South Central, which is keeping some snow for inland areas with a range snow mix as you head out towards Prince William Sound. But this is our parent low we're watching that's out towards Nunivak Island. We do have areas of the Kuskokwim Delta coastline, which remains up under a coastal flood advisory. This is where we could see water levels about 1.5 feet to 3 feet above the normal highest tide. And the high tide arrives this morning around 9 a.m. And with winds gusting up to about 40 miles per hour, be prepared for that possibility. We could see some coastal erosion. Now, some of the strongest winds are out towards Gamble, where gusts up to 50 miles per hour are to be expected. So as this system continues to remain with us, we'll see areas of the Seward Peninsula, Gamble, St. Lawrence, the Yukon Delta, through really through a good portion of southwest Alaska, where we're going to favor winds of about 40 to 60 miles per hour. Now, out towards Gamble, St. Lawrence, we could see some locally higher wind speeds, so be prepared for that possibility. But notice these winds, they're really going to be very isolated in nature here over the next couple of days. Not as broad as what we typically would see with these storms, but we will favor some of these gustier conditions that will stay with us the next couple of days. And we're also going to be watching locations of western Alaska, where we've got these winter weather advisories. These are winter storm warning through parts of the Seward Peninsula. We'll see waves of snow that will build in here from your Monday on into Tuesday and Wednesday. This is where we could see areas of the Seward Peninsula, at least inner parts of the Seward Peninsula, picking up anywhere from 8 to 12 inches of snow accumulation, while areas of western and southwest Alaska, and excluding the Seward Peninsula, sees anywhere from about 3 to 8 inches of that snow accumulation. So that will stick around here over the next couple of days, adding on to what has already fallen. Biggest impacts for areas out west will be those winds, which will lead to some blowing snow and reduced visibility. Now, notice by midweek, we kind of dry out here across South Central, but we'll still favor some of those ongoing light snow showers, with another storm building into the eastern Gulf of Alaska by midweek, which will keep some rain, if not some localized areas of rain and snow out towards southeast. So we're beginning to see the open waters open back up, leading to more active weather. You can see out towards Bethel, temperatures do stay warm, right around that freezing mark, if not into the upper 30s, with daily rain, if not rain, snow mixes looking likely both Monday as well as into Wednesday. And of course, here across South Central, we continue to favor some of those light snow showers. Of course, we'll detail just how much we can see across South Central coming up in my next forecast. For today, though, and through the next 7 days, we are going to see those temperatures holding near freezing, although we do cool off back into the mid to upper 20s this weekend.
This week's Nights of Lights was on Brittany Drive, set up by Robin and Emmy Port. Now they set up this light display with both precision and passion. The vision was Emmy's, but Robin helped make her creative ideas a reality. This year, the decorations were up before Halloween, and they've done this every year for the past few years. Robin and Emmy both told us that they have plans to make it bigger and better next year. Now, this is only one of the houses on our Nights of Light segment, which we will be showcasing a new house and their decorative displays weekly. So if you miss any of the houses we tour weekly on Fridays, you can still go find it on our streaming platforms, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku. And if you have suggestions for a house we should visit, let us know with a photo and contact info emailed to news@ktuu.com.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically and stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.